This is the Reality Self-Help Podcast. Summer House Recap Edition, because I'm on a mission. Hello and welcome to the Reality TV Self-Help Podcast, Summer House Recap, and this is for episode 10. This episode was kind of interesting because it let us learn a lot more about different people, and it wasn't following the trajectory which myself and I think a lot of other people were predicting, which was that we'd see West and Sierra get closer. Knowing what I know now about Amanda and West, yes, I'm actually so relieved that we're not seeing that, because for Sierra's sake. And then also they were showing the preview of next week where West has this girl sitting on his lap and then Sierra's crying. So knowing Amanda saw that as well is very fascinating. I hope that West being an asshole to her in next week's episode, that means they didn't get much closer last summer. So, well, that's not going to cut down on how much Amanda's broken her heart in terms of friendship, but maybe that would make it a little bit less painful for the West aspect of it. It was really interesting to learn more about Mia, because what I was wishing, which is that I'd get to see her boyfriend Scott, happened. So at Lindsay's housewarming party, Scott shows up, and being totally superficial, I think Mia is drop dead gorgeous, and I don't think her partner is physically on her level, but that's just his looks. I didn't really get to see him talk or learn anything about him. Mia gave him a relationship contract saying that I think if you're gone for longer than 3 weeks or something, that's not okay. And if that keeps happening a lot, then she'll break up with him. And at the lunch with Lindsay and Amanda, she also revealed that her dad passed away when she was 22. I had no idea that both of her parents had passed away. Mia's so strong and confident and hilarious and positive. Her mom passed away just a year and a half ago, and she said her mom was her best friend. So it made me love Mia even more, finding out that she's gone through this huge loss, no longer has either of her parents, and she still has such a strong mom energy towards Sierra and other people. I just love Mia so much, and knowing that her partner is away all the time, yes, for his work, but knowing that her mom passed away a year and a half ago, I don't know why, I just have always been kind of like, I want to know who this guy that she's dating is, because I'm a little bit suspicious of him. I guess I'm a little bit suspicious of anyone who constantly travels for their work, because I always wonder if that gives the opportunity, if you have a roving eye, to cheat more. So I have no idea if he is someone who would cheat, but even seeing that he did come to the party and she was saying goodbye to him because he left before her, and she was saying to Scott, her boyfriend, thank you so much for coming. And he said, of course, I wouldn't miss it. But then he still left early. So it shows how much he's always pulled in another direction. And knowing the loss that Mia's gone through, and she admitted she doesn't have a village. She wants to have kids, but that's part of why she needs Scott to be more available and around more, because she will need his help in raising children. So I have a feeling I should look up. I don't know if Scott and Mia are together today, but I have a feeling they're not going to work out. But I also have a feeling that Mia deserves a lot better, because she's just an incredible person. Another thing that was interesting, it kind of showed me how rarely Amanda gets challenged on the show. We always see Kyle being such an obvious jerk to her by swearing at her, by doing things that are just so overtly aggressive and there's no justification for them. Amanda has really been in this victim role for quite some time on the show, but that's why it was so fascinating to see when Ben goes up to Amanda and says, hey, can I just pull you to the side and have a conversation with you? And her eyes just immediately, like, they were bugging out just so extremely, and you could tell she just was so taken off guard. Showed she's on a reality show, but yes, lately she hasn't really had to have anyone challenge her. And so Ben saying to her, you know, Sabrina, his girlfriend, said that at the end of the party that you met her at, that you said to her that Ben is in love with me, or everyone knows that Ben's in love with me, something along those lines. And understandably, if I was Sabrina, I would also be, why is this woman saying that? And it's not funny and it's weird, especially knowing that when Sabrina said to Ben that she loves him, he froze up, and that temporarily ended the relationship. Why would you say that to someone? And then Amanda, again, her eyes were just huge saucers. So she said to him, that wasn't my intention at all. Sorry she took it that way. But I'm excited to see in next week's episode where they showed that Sabrina talks to Amanda about it. Also, Amanda was shit talking Sabrina, saying, how does she know all this stuff about us? Is Ben just constantly filling her in? I mean, you are on a reality show as well, so it's not news to anybody that you and Kyle have a terrible relationship. Probably Ben is the one filling you in as he's on this reality show. If you were dating someone who's filming on a reality show, that would be totally normal to want to know, what are you guys talking about? What's the dynamics going on in the house? All that kind of thing. And I'm more like Sabrina. If I know information, I would rather be open about that and transparent rather to play it cool and pretend I don't know anything about you guys. I've heard nothing about you, because that seems way more fake to me. So, of course, it's easy to hate on Amanda right now, but it was interesting to see the shift not be as much about Kyle as a piece of crap, though in another way it was, because it had recently passed the 5th year anniversary of Carl's brother passing away. And it also does show that happened the day before Lindsay's birthday. So that should have made it that much easier for Kyle to remember it. But Carl was understandably very, very, very hurt because Kyle did not reach out to Carl on his brother's, on the anniversary of Carl's brother passing away. And then we see yet again West going to Kyle saying, hey, just so you know, Carl's feeling this way. He's probably going to come talk to you about this. He was trying to justify it by talking about how he was so busy because of, again, he makes it about himself. I had this call that day that I was so stressed out about, and I had to do laundry that day. And West did give good advice and saying, don't justify it, and also don't mention that you did laundry. So West is really good at telling Kyle how to take accountability. But we'll see if West is just as good at taking accountability for getting with Amanda at the reunion. That Carl, who, especially since he's sober, I think he is someone that wants to see the best in people, that doesn't want to create conflict, that doesn't want to have uncomfortable feelings. I don't think he's looking for a reason to be pissed off at Kyle, but I get why he is pissed off at Kyle. And so he says to Kyle, you know, this really hurt me that this happened. And then I saw that you posted for Lindsay's birthday. Kyle's response was very disappointing of, well, I feel like Lindsay's the kind of person where if you don't post for her birthday, it will bother her more than when you do. But that still doesn't explain, okay, but who's your better friend? And Carl's making a good point. He's Kyle's best friend. You don't have another friend like me. And if this is how you're treating the person who's there for you the most, who else do you have in this world? And but it was interesting to see Dara and Bailey work it out. And it seemed that Bailey acknowledged, I didn't say you hooked up with Ben, but you guys clearly did have a connection at that one party. But Ben said you didn't, and Dara was insulted by that. I liked that Dara, she has won me over more by admitting, oh, we did have a flirtation that day. But no, I did not hook up with him when I was in his room. And yes, he did briefly come in there, but no, there was nothing that was happening. So I think Kyle does care for people. I don't think he would be diagnosed as a narcissist, because I think he does feel emotions and feels very bad when he hurts other people. And I think he does know that he's messing up, but I think he's doing such a disservice. And that's where I'm curious to see if it's next episode or which one it is where Carl is about to fight him, because Kyle does not do a good job of admitting what he's done to hurt Carl and how serious it is that he didn't reach out on his brother's day of passing. Kyle uses excuses as he usually does, which is, I'm usually with you on that day. Okay, but that doesn't explain how you didn't reach out to me on this anniversary. And I'm sure it's going to hurt Carl even more when he sees, and maybe this will come up at the reunion, when he sees what Kyle was saying to West about why he couldn't remember what that day was. Kyle still just talks about himself, all the stress that he's under, what he's going through, and he just fails at left, right, and center. Kyle is making himself a victim again in this episode, and that is not going to go well for him. I like that there's, again, adding dimensions to different people of what's going on with Mia, who is Sabrina that Ben's in love with, and just seeing Ben. He's really good at bringing something up, because I think if I had to bring that up to Amanda, I would be a lot more triggered and emotional. I think Amanda's used to having all the guys in the house be into her. And so she's gotten a little too comfortable, if you know what I'm saying, with that. But I'm so intrigued with this season. And next week, I am dying to see who this girl is that West has sitting on his lap, how it leads up to that, what he does. just think he is trying to provoke Sierra. West is someone that I truly wonder if he could be diagnosed as a narcissist, because what I see now is I think he feels emotions. I don't know if West feels truly bad when he hurts other people, or if he thinks he feels bad for hurting other people, but I think he just feels bad for looking bad more than hurting other people. So I think he is a manosphere guy. I think he's learned how to show interest in women, and exactly what Kyle was saying. He knows what to say and he knows what to do, but I don't think it comes from any kind of genuine respect for women. I don't think that West respects women at all. Thank you for listening to the Reality TV is Self-Help podcast. I really appreciate it. If you're enjoying this episode, please go rate it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, ideally a 5-star rating, or let me know what you think, and I hope you have a great night.